And the left needs to realize that all this stuff that's being done against the right was done against the left and can and will be done against the left if there's ever power. I remember long ago I was on your show, I mentioned to Hunter Biden, laptops and before, now we know it's real, right?
Right.
The fact that the FBI put their thumb on the scale of the elections, that is really fucked up, It's like, and my leftist friends are like, oh, we're not surprised about that. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'm cynical like you too. But like, wait a minute, now we have this, we suspect all sorts of stuff late at night, sitting around talking, drinking, but it's like, now we have proof they did this stuff. The FBI, 80 different contacts between the FBI and Twitter, censoring, like that's in the First Amendment of the Constitution. It's illegal. The government shall not do that, shall not abridge speech. And then it's like the defense will, well, those weren't orders. Those were suggestions and requests. It was, suggestions and requests that couldn't really be refused. But, all that stuff can and will be used against the left. And the left should be concerned about it for those reasons and many other reasons. But to think that the FBI would only do this to lunatic MAGA is, it doesn't fit with the historical record in which the FBI has waged, frankly, a kind of low intensity war against the left in the past. And so now these practices are coming under scrutiny, and we should not be turning away from them. We should be getting in there and being like, yes, and let's put this in the context of COINTELPRO, what they did to the Communist Party, what they did to the Black Panther Party, what they did to the Civil Rights Movement. This is all this methodology of domestic counterinsurgency by these nominal law enforcement agencies is old, well established, and is highly problematic. And if we're going to have any kind of democratic social change, it has to be rolled back. It has to be stopped, in my opinion. So that's what I think about that. And just to be clear, if listeners aren't aware of what happened, this, Hunter Biden leaves his laptop at this Mac shop in Delaware. He abandons it. It then becomes his property. He opens up and he realizes, whoa, this is full of all sorts of incriminating stuff. His father takes a copy of the hard drive of the laptop and brings it to the FBI. The FBI refused to take it. They reject him. About 9 months later, we're now at December 2019, the FBI come and they seize the contents of the laptop. The owner of the Mac shop also gives a copy of the laptop to Rudolph Giuliani. And Giuliani's people give it to the New York Post. And the Republicans are going to use it as their October surprise. Yeah, playing dirty. Yeah, of course, whatever. And when the New York Post does this, the FBI has already laid the groundwork. They have, for the entire year of 2020, they've been sending out word that we think this stuff is hacked. There's a Russian campaign underway. And so all the media are primed to be suspicious of this stuff. The New York Post runs with it, and the FBI tell Twitter, you should really do something about this. And Twitter suspends the New York Post's account, right? They do all this right in the run up to the election. I mean, that constitutes putting your thumb on the scale a little bit. So, all right, a listener might be glad that Biden is president rather than Trump, but don't think that this kind of stuff isn't going to be done to leftists. I mean, you think they wouldn't do this and worse if there was somebody like Bernie Sanders who was looking like they were going to win the election? Of course they would, And so you can't have it, you don't get state repression a la carte. You can't be like, well, I'll just have it when it's done to the right, please. It's like, they're going to do it to the left too. And so we need to prune those agencies or break them up. They need to be, that they're a cancer at the heart of civil government and democracy. And I'm enough of a classical liberal to care about and believe in that stuff. And so I think it needs to be protected. And part of the way you protect democracy is by containing, spanking, smacking the snout of rolling back these police agencies.